So here's the anterior interventricular sulcus. It's in between the two ventricles, right ventricle, left ventricle. I know those are right and left when I open up the heart and look. Left ventricle has that very, very thick wall. Right ventricle, very thin in comparison. Looking in the ventricles down at the apex, we can see this trabeculae carne. So on this side, down there in the apex, yeah, that trabeculae carne. We also have those papillary muscles. To find a papillary muscle, use the chordae tendineae. Follow a chordae tendineae down, and right where it inserts, you know you have a papillary muscle. Use these to determine the difference that I'm asking for papillary or trabeculae carne. If you can see that chordae tendineae coming right in and hitting near where I have pinned, I'm asking for a papillary muscle. If you don't see that, I'm asking for trabeculae carne. So again, that's chordae tendineae holding up the bicuspid valve. This is left ventricle, so I know this is bicuspid valve. This is right ventricle, so I know this is tricuspid valve. If I were to go through my bicuspid valve, I would find myself in the left atrium. You go through the tricuspid valve, you'd be in right atrium, but you can't really see.
How can you tell what's it? I always get confused with the valves. Like, I don't really know what they look like.
Remind me and I'll explain in a second. If I go through here, the tip of my probe is in the right atrium. To figure out what vessels are coming out. Before then, we have that interventricular septum. Now I want to trace my actual vessels out of the top of the heart. So I'm going to go into my right atrium, and I'm going to make for an exit. Here's pulmonary trunk coming out of the right atrium. This is the right auricle of the right atrium. If I go out of my left atrium, I can find an exit out of my left atrium, which is right here. This is pulmonary veins. You're never going to be able to tell me right or left. That's fine. It's pulmonary veins. This is the left auricle. If I go out of my right ventricle, come out in this one right here. This is the pulmonary trunk. That right there is pulmonary trunk. If I go out of my left ventricle, I will come up out of my aorta. And this would be the first branch off the aorta, brachiocephalic. That's it. Easy peasy. Auricle. Looks like a big ear.
And you were saying, I was to remind you about.
So yeah, about looking at the valves. So for starters, you know you've got to have a bunch of chordae tendineae that attach to it.
Okay.
And the other thing to look at is, I mean, it's a flap of tissue that just simply locks this chamber off from this chamber.
Okay.
Right?
So that lower chamber is, what is this whole chamber called?
So this is all ventricle. My hand's in left ventricle.
Ventricle. And the top parts are the atriums.
Right, so this is in an atrium. This side you have to go to get to the right atrium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I think that's about it. Did you get everything you wanted?